Saul, when we meet him in Better Call Saul,
Yeah.
is not yet the character we know in Breaking Bad. Does he become closer to that in season 3?
Yeah, definitely. In season 3, there's both exterior and interior kind of movement toward Saul Goodman that are pretty marked. Exteriorly presenting himself, he does present himself as Saul Goodman in season 3 at a certain point. It's not the same exactly as Breaking Bad, but in a lot of ways it is. And then inside the character, the choices he makes, the kind of person he is, definitely, again, becomes a lot more like Saul. He starts to be kind of very self-serving.
You mentioned yesterday in the panel that there's a lot more humour in this series.
Yeah, I think my observation is that in season 3, I think the writers feel more confident because they feel like they found the show. They really were discovering this show as they wrote it. So there was a tentativeness to the first season, and maybe a little the second season, as they discovered what this show was about and the kind of characters he interacts with and what the speed of his journey is. Now I think they feel fairly confident about that. And so I think they're having more fun. When it's comic, it's funnier and it lasts longer, and then it'll switch to drama any second they want. They fly around between all these different tones.
Does that translate into the atmosphere on the set, like the humour?
Yeah, I mean, we're not pranking each other all day, if that's what you're asking, but we are good friends. The thing is, what it means is that in a single day, you could have a very comic scene in the morning and then at night a very serious, intense drama. I don't really know how that translates on the set. People are happy and people are surprised more every day.
We've got Gus Fring having what it looks like quite a big role in this series.
Yes.
Can you elaborate on?
Well, you get to see Gus Fring put his empire together. He appears in the show, and then you see some of the machinations of him becoming the important drug dealer that he is in Breaking Bad.
And you also said yesterday about how Better Call Saul will make people read Breaking Bad differently.
I do. Well, I don't know if they'll read it differently, but with more depth. There are characters in Breaking Bad who we see again in Better Call Saul, which is before Breaking Bad, and we get to see their relationship. Even though in Breaking Bad we didn't necessarily know they even had a relationship, but then when you see it, you'll go, oh, of course, those two people would have a past together.
So, what about previous seasons? What's been your favourite scene to shoot, or your favourite episode?
I always love a scene where I get beat up, or a scene where I'm in the desert and or a scene like when we're in the desert playing with fake guns. That's the most fun because it's pretend and a joke, and yet we play it so seriously.
Uh-huh.
So I love that stuff. To find yourself doing that as a grown up makes you smile.
Are there any other cameos like Gus Fring that we should look out for in season 3, but we can't talk about them?
And I'm not allowed to talk about them.
Okay.
Think about Gus Fring. Think about who was in his world. Maybe people with them, or rivals, or people he did business with. And then think about how this is a few years before, and it's still the same world of people. It's not that big of a community, Albuquerque. So maybe some of those people would be in that world.
Okay.